How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is William. How you doing today? This day being July 20th, 2022. How y'all doing today, my followers, my new sign-ons, and everybody? So let me go ahead and jump right in and quickly, bring y'all up to date on some things. When you got a mentally ill person that's got such a psychological problems, psychological issues, psychological with things that you do, that's only kind of customary to try to raise your kids that way too. Because if you got a psychosis parent, and that's the only parent that's raising the children, the children more likely to come out to be psychosis too, don't they? Because you got that psychosis parent that's supposed to be stable in their right mind, but they not. So then they turn around and raise a child, and likelihood they be come up to be psychosis too, because they'll think that's a normal thing being psychosis. Is that not right? So here's the problem. So here's the thing that I'm dealing with, y'all. You know, I told y'all in my earlier state thing that Sophia Crawford, she didn't go by Judge Sophia Crawford. That is, she didn't go by a judge previous to her that made an order concerning our daughter and concerning the well-being of Michelle. The judge that was before Sophia Crawford the order was put in place for her to continue her psychological treatment, in which she had a psychiatric doctor at that time from Fayetteville. So so she was ordered. That was a part of the order. So when Sophia Crawford came and changed another judge's order, which is not likely to do unless it's some evidence that persists that says otherwise. So the only thing that Sophia Crawford had in front of her to talk about Michelle being was a counselor. And a counselor is not a doctor. You know what I'm saying? So, and then so other words, like I was telling y'all, she befriended a counselor, and this counselor got up on the stand alive for her. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got no emotional problems. She ain't got no other words. She is just as normal as any other person. That's pretty much what this counselor goddamn said. But ain't no doctor said that. And see, here's the thing: up under a judge's order, that Michelle is not to end her sessions with the doctor unless the doctor releases her. Can't no counselor if a doctor seeing you, then a counselor can't come behind a doctor and change it. You know what I'm saying? Cause that's just like saying a counselor is better than a doctor. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what happened, and then on top of that, Sophia Crawford, she didn't go by the previous order of continuing Michelle into her psychosis treatment. Other words, y'all down to earth like me. Her crazy treatment, a crazy doctor, because that's how we have been grown, and that's how we've been grown to assess things that we can familiar ourselves with. Psychosis. When I first heard the word psychosis, I was like, "What in the world is psychosis?" Oh, that means the same thing as crazy. Okay, well, now that I know what psychosis means, so it means the same thing as crazy, but it just said in a more, I guess they want to call it more professional way. In other words, over your head. That's what I call it. And I'm down to earth. So Sophia Call put this order in place, and then more than that, if you got a mentally ill person, how is a judge gonna put the responsibility of this mentally ill person taking care of 5 children and being disabled at the same time? What mind concept do y'all think that this judge had to put the care of my kids into the hands of a woman that's mentally ill, psychosis? You know what I'm saying? How can you even put it in your mind to think that to do that? You know what I'm saying? Y'all, I read this about a judge. I'm gonna tell y'all to go to this. If some of y'all get that news break on y'all phone, let me see. This news break came across my phone. And it was, I'm gonna tell y'all real quick. Let me pull it back up real quick. News break. I got a news break across my phone. Let's see, social. Let's see. Dog must be on the phone that I'm on. Let's see. Anyway, if y'all go to news break, some of y'all got news break on y'all phone, y'all go to news break and you'll see what this woman in Charlotte, North Carolina, where she had this private investigator and everything following her, I guess her ex-boyfriend, ex-husband or whatever. And so she deliberately was not following a court order for 3 years, deliberately now. So she ended up getting put in jail, and then the other parent ended up taking the child to the permanent custody from her, gave it to the other parent because the parent that had the child was refusing to let the daddy see the child. She was refusing by abiding by any court order that the judge had put out. And that's the same thing that I'm dealing with Michelle. See, she been over 3 years now, and she been not following a court's order, and doing the stuff that she do. So, and she been withheld my kids. She been doing everything, because you remember I told y'all, right? When the kids was with me about those 2 weeks, she was burning my phone up. I mean, burning it up every day. Have our kids to call me. Have our kids to call me. She was doing this every day. You know what I'm saying? But now they have been back with her several weeks, and only one time she has allowed my children to call me. One time since July the 11th. And the date, this is July the 20th. One time. And then when I call her, I can't get through to her number, her phone number. I don't know if she got me blocked or whatever, but I can't never get through. And then, so this woman is not following the order. And the thing is, I ain't to this point yet. I haven't had a lawyer yet, because it ain't in yet. So I haven't had an order yet to come and attack the order and put that woman in contempt for all of the order that she has broken since the order has been in place since March and May of 2019. So I haven't had a lawyer to come in yet to address the many contempts that Michelle has done. So, and I'm still working on that, y'all. And like I said, if y'all have any insight, anything that y'all can forward to me, forward it to me, on any, and then if any lawyers that y'all can see for the going on 5 years now. Speaking of which, let me put this out there. The child support worker, me and you spoke on the phone. I'm not going to call you out, but I know you look at my YouTube by now. And when you had told me that David McGuire called you and said that he dismissed the case against me, well, you know what I was telling you that was a lie? Now you see it's a lie. If you go back and look at my case, dog, you see what's on the case now. All of a sudden, y'all, listen at now, 5 years now, y'all, listen at me close. November 2019 to the date. David McGuire has been going with this equity distribution, child support alimony under the table. Never addressing it. Then as soon as the Judge Sophia Crawford stripped me of my rights to my kids and gave it to Michelle, then David McGuire put it on the table, came back with it and said, equity distribution. And then he dropped equity. Well, no, he didn't drop it. It went under the table. Other words, it went on the court calendar. Then he went after child support. Then all of a sudden that dropped off the calendar. Then he along with Michelle, contacted child support agency. And then David McGuire lied to the child support agency, which is why, you know what? I've been thinking about something, David McGuire. I've been thinking about something. I call you biased and all of that stuff, but you know what? You is biased. And you know what? You're supposed to be biased because you're supposed to work for your client. All get out. So yeah, you're supposed to be biased against me based on the fact you got a client. But you can't be in conflict in doing so. So just to let you know, I understand you being biased. Yeah, you can be biased because you benefit your client, but you can't be in conflict. And so since this time you have been in conflict, and you got personal vendetta against me, and you have shown it in many situations, especially this thing with the child support lady, where you called her and told her that you dropped this case against me, when in fact I told her that you didn't. Now that this child support worker see, in fact, that it's not dropped, that you was only trying to scam the state, you know what? You ought to go to jail for that. You ought to be locked up for calling a child support worker to do a job that you already had me in court for. You ought to be locked up for that, because you're a lawyer and you know what's against the law. And you called this child support worker and assured that child support worker that this case was dismissed against me. You did that, David McGuire, because the child support officer lady told me you did it. So you assured her that this case against me was dismissed. And you knew and you knew that was a lie. You knew it was a lie. And you have gave me strong evidence now against your brother being in conflict with me. Strong evidence. So not only you try to get the state to come in to help you at something that you was already doing for almost 5 years. So you're gonna go under the table and deliberately lie to a state official because she is considered to be a state official because she worked for the state of North Carolina. And you lied to a worker of the state of North Carolina about child support. You know what I'm saying? As well, as your client. Your client didn't bring forth the other 2 kids that she know by law is mine. She didn't present them to the child support work, but at the same time, she wanted to try to pursue child support for my other 3. So, only thing y'all did was open up a big old door. A door that you now wanted that you ain't ready for. Because see, that's going to, I tell you, that's going to be my write-up against you, David McGuire. My write-up against you is going to be lying to a state official by calling them on the phone and lying to them about you dropped the case when you know in fact you hadn't. I'm going to write you up on that. And I ain't going to tell you what the other ones I'm going to write you up on, but that's going to be the one that I'm going to definitely write you up on that shows you at being in conflict with me during this whole process because you always been in conflict. I just want to let you know, I'm just telling you the difference that you think what I don't know is what I know. So you can be biased. I call you biased and all that. You can be biased because that's your client. But you can't be in conflict. And that's what you are. You in conflict with me, buddy. And you've been in conflict from day one. The day one Michelle Wall came to you, you've been in conflict with me. Especially after knowing that you represented my daughter. So you've been in conflict and you have showed your conflict over the years. You have shown that you are very well in conflict. You personally involved with Michelle to a level that a lawyer-client privileges. Y'all, some of the things I have seen you do, David McGuire, like coming to the social service DSS, calling the police on me for custody is changed. You was out there on a Sunday. I'm like, wow. How involved do a lawyer get with their client? You know what I'm saying? And speaking of which, y'all, what else I was bringing? Y'all just doing custody and to the parents that's doing custody, and y'all from here in Richmond County, let me tell you what you can do because I'm going to tell you what's been done to me so that makes y'all be able to do it too. You can call the sheriff department. You can call the Rockingham Police Department. You can call Hamlet Police Department to assist you anytime that y'all want them to assist you. Because Michelle been doing it. And she is the perpetrator. See, Michelle been doing it, and she's the perpetrator. She the one that's have assaulted me. You know what I'm saying? And been on probation and everything for it. So, but she calls the police. It shocks me because I sit back and watch police follow her to get our children from me. I done sit back and watch the sheriff department do it. I don't want to hadn't seen done it yet, and I'm not going to put them on the spot. It's the Hamlet Police Department. I haven't seen them do it yet, but I have seen the sheriff department do it, and I have seen the Rockingham Police Department do it. So I'm like, is it that easy? And ain't no judge's order that says Rockingham Sheriff Department or Rockingham Police Department, any law enforcement to assist any parent in the exchange of their kids. I haven't seen, ain't a judge ordered that nowhere. But see, Michelle goes and calls the police to come and get our children. Would she bring them to the sheriff department for me to pick them up? Or of course, I don't bring them back to the sheriff department. The last time I brought them in Captain D, so we was inside Captain D's restaurant when she came and got them. And with 2 Rockingham police officers outside in 2 vehicles. So I'm like, so I want y'all y'all that hears me, the one that going through custody issues, and the parent one of the parents is doing the same thing Michelle doing, you do it too. Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So they can't sit there. Rockingham Police and Sheriff Department can't sit there and do for one parent and not do for the other one. Or do for one custody or not for the other one. So I'm telling y'all, if y'all have any issues, call the Rockingham Police Department to assist you. Call the Sheriff Department to assist you. Because the sheriff, and then brothers in the county or the city, because guess what? The Sheriff Department assisted Michelle in the city. The DSS building, Richmond County DSS is in the city limits, ain't it, y'all? So Richmond County Sheriff Department assisted her in the city for custody exchange. So I just want to put that out there to let y'all know that this is what kind of stuff the sheriff's office is doing under the hands of what's his name? What's his name? Gulledge. Mark Gulledge. Yeah, under the hands of Mark Gulledge now. So these officers is assisting her in the city limits of Rockingham to assist her in custody exchange. No order by the judge. And Rockingham Police Department is assisting her in custody exchange. So I just want y'all to know, y'all parents that want some assistance, call them up, say, hey, I need y'all assistance. I'm finna go take my child, whether it be the daddy or the mother. I'm finna go take my child, the mother finna pick him up, or the daddy finna pick him up, and I want y'all to be there present to assist me. And y'all can do that because it's been going on with me ever since, pretty much since 2019, and then before that, a little bit before that too. So, just to let y'all know, so y'all don't feel discriminated against, because that will be a discrimination. If y'all call an officer to assist y'all when y'all know for a fact they've been assisting Michelle all this long time to assist her in exchange the custody of our children, then if they don't do it for y'all, then that'll be a prejudice. Because then why you doing it for a psychosis woman, but you not doing it for a person that's in fear of anything? So that'll be a prejudice, y'all. Mind you, that will be prejudice, 100% prejudice. So if y'all ever call on the sheriff department, whether it be in the city or the county, because they have assisted Michelle in the city as well. So whether it be in the city or the county, call the Rockingham Police or Sheriff Department to assist y'all in transfer y'all children, even without a court order, because everything that the Rockingham Police Department doing and everything that the Richmond County Sheriff Department doing is without an order. They don't have an order in place that says that we have to assist two parents with child custody exchange. They don't have an order in place. And now if orders in place, should be for me that will take me against her. But ain't no order in place. So that's what we're dealing with now, and that's what I'm dealing with. And like I told y'all, Michelle got my two of my boys, my daughter and my sons, as so far as I know of, taking some kind of I refer to it as some kind of mental health, depression medicine. Us older parents like us, y'all, we know we call some of that medicine Ritalin back in the day. So maybe they changed the title to it, changed the name to it, but that kind of make it kind of normal, because if you got a psychosis person raising kids, then they're gonna make those kids psychosis. You know what I'm saying? Or make them think they psychosis. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got a mentally ill parent raising 5 children, then what's the likelihood of those children not being psychosis? The likelihood of those children is likely to be psychosis because that's the way they're being raised. Ain't that right? I just want y'all to know that. And mind you, raising against a settled daddy. Now, mind you now, because I'm not psychosis, I'm not mentally unstable, I'm not none of that. And them raised grown kids already, got doctors. My family, I done raised doctors. You know what I'm saying? So in the medical field. So you tell me, and then how likely is a child to be a doctor? Or how likely is a child to be a lawyer? How likely is a child to be a district attorney when you got a psychosis parent that's raising them? And having all of the authority, not only raising them, but have all the authority of raising them. Now you tell me. That's some wicked stuff there now. Yes, sir, that's some wicked stuff. So, and another thing I want to put out there in front. My lawyer, I done 1, 2, 3. I done called your office 3 times. And I'm not going to call my lawyer name out, because I'm just communicating with my lawyer. I done called your office 3 times. I have spoken with your secretary 3 times and having you to return my call to see how we're going to proceed and what's going to go forward. And I had some additional information I wanted to talk to you about. And during these 3 times, you haven't returned my call. Either I'll put it this way, I ain't got no blame yet. I ain't putting no blame, but I'm gonna just put it this way. Either might be some miscommunication between you and the secretary, or if your secretary is telling you everything and you're not returning my call, I don't know I'm gonna just right now. I'm gonna say some kind of miscommunication here, But I'm gonna reach out to you through my YouTube because I know you look at my YouTube too. So I'm gonna just reach out to you in reference of contacting me concerning my case against Michelle Wall. So I'd like for you to reach out to me about that and communicate with me about that. And I appreciate it. And thank you. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But getting back to the thing at hand, y'all, it's been a constant battle. It's been a constant downfall dealing with Michelle Wall. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, y'all, here's the thing. This is what I'm going to speak good about. Michelle is disabled from the last time I remember. She disabled, get disability, right? So, and I'm like this. Let me tell you what they did to my daughter one time. My daughter had one child. I ain't gonna call her name neither, and she was getting disability as well. And so the disability people put her on the review, and they put her on a review. So she went back through a review, and they brought in consideration that she only had one child now. She had one child. So they discontinue her disability because they said, well, if you're able to monitor, watch over your kid, take your kid to school or whatever, and be a parent of your child, then you're not considered to be disabled no more. You know what I'm saying? So that's one child, not 5, 1. So now here Michelle got 5 that she totally in control of at this time. And to be mentally unstable and to be disabled makes it a difficult task, right? So being that said, then she need, I think a person like that, need to get back to work. Because if you able to take care of 5 children, then you able to get back to work and do work, ain't it? If you able, and all you parents know that it takes a whole lot to take care. You talking about one child, 5? Y'all know it's a whole lot of strenuous tasks there to take care of 5 children. Now, and if you claiming to be disabled, or you ain't claiming to be disabled, that's what you is, a disabled, but you're not living by the guidelines of being a disabled person. You know what I'm saying? And then if you ain't living by the guidelines of being a disabled person, you can take care of 5 kids. I mean, you're a healthy vessel. You're a healthy person. And so a healthy person can get back to work and do those jobs that test, because I'd rather work a job. If I had a choice, I'll work a job and take care of 5 kids. I mean, I do both. I work a job and take care of my 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? So I won't lay around getting a disability on one hand, then go out and try to hurt other parents at daylight. So what I'm saying, I think it should come down to a review. And look, it's time. She probably being rehabilitated. She probably been rehabilitated, but she healthy and ain't got no more mental problem, no psychosis problem. And maybe she I guess it's possible to get rehabilitated from being psychosis. You get rehabilitated from being physically unable to work. So you get rehabilitation from that. Your back get better, your leg get better. So I'm looking at the fact that, hey, this woman is good. This woman is better. She take care of 5 kids. And so therefore, man, it's time to put some work in play. I'm thinking that, you can go back to work, you can go to work, you can go back to work, And that's the thing I told her one time before. I said, dog, you can go to work, girl, shoot. You know what I'm saying? I said, we'll pay a babysitter. Because all the signs I have seen her, in her physical, I ain't seen no physical disability about her. Even though at last I remember she was getting a physical disability too for her back and leg. So I ain't never seen her have an issue. I ain't never seen her have problems with her back and leg. She always been walk around, run around, jump around. And she running behind 5 kids. She doing a whole lot of running around and jumping around. So I just want to let y'all know that, a person like that, I don't think a person like that is disabled, So in the guideline, and since I seen my daughter go through it, she went through rehabilitation as well, and they classify her as being able to go back to work. So they discontinue her disability. So, and I think not just Michelle, I think any parent that's getting disability and they have been rehabilitated, or the problem they had has gotten better, where they can go out and perform work and everything, not to lay on disability, then I think that's what they ought to do. And I think they need help in doing that. You know what I'm saying? I think they need help in doing that. And so they can get back in the work field and then know what it's like, to earn the keep. You know what I'm saying? Earn their own keep. Go out there and get paid and work a job. So that's the way I see that. But as now, y'all, I ain't gonna talk too much. That's what I want to bring to y'all attention, and I want to let David McGuire know. I know exactly his conflict, and on both sides, on the criminal side and the civil side. Now, since he has called a child support worker and told the child support worker something that he had done when he know that he hadn't done it. He know that ain't never been done. Anytime anything get dismissed in court, it's under the microphone, under the recording, or in writing. So when he deliberately told this woman something was dismissed when he know it wasn't, that's lying to a state official. That's a lie to the state. Why? And so what would cause him to lie to a state official? Because he has a personal vendetta against me. That's what would cause. Because what other reason? What other reason for a lawyer that don't have nothing to do with nothing to call a neutral person out of nowhere, a child support worker, and assure that child support worker that he has dismissed the case against me? Because y'all, you can't have two cases at the same time against you. So if he's taking me to court for child support, then how in the world the state gonna take me to court for child support? You know what I'm saying? So he wanted a free job and getting the child support that works for the state now to come after me for child support when he know going on 5 years now he been having child support against me in court. So this ain't something he can go back and say, well, I didn't know, because you the one that filed it against me, and it's still pending until a judge hear it, or judge dismiss it, or is voluntarily dismissed by the party. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at. And I just wanted to I'm gonna keep y'all informed on that. So when I send this in to the state bar against David McGuire, so I'm not gonna send nothing in about you, David McGuire, that says you biased, because you is biased, and you can be biased because that's your client. But you can't be in conflict with me in no circumstances about me whatsoever. You cannot be in conflict with me either way. So if you can represent your client without being in conflict with me, then I know that's you have to be a good attorney to be able to do that based on what you did so far. So at this time, I know you not biased, in conflict with me, and this is just another thing that's going to be added to your. So when I send this letter off to the bar, well, no, I ain't got to send the letter off because I can send it straight to the internet. But when I add it all up, then this is going to be my definitions of you being in conflict with me. So we'll see how this work out from here forward. But thank y'all. Appreciate your comments. Keep commenting. Keep sending me any recommendations. Any recommendations of a lawyer. And if any of you lawyers watching my YouTube, and if any of you think that, hey, man, they just got so dirty, let me get in here. Let me pro bono or whatever. Let me get in here and help him, because this is not right. Him being a daddy and love his children got to deal with this type of animosity from people. Judges, not people, judges, the administration of the clerk of courts, sheriff department, members of the sheriff department. I ain't calling all members out of the sheriff department, but them members, let me put it this way. Them wicked members of the sheriff department know who exactly I'm talking to. And I can call every one of them out by name. From the top to the bottom. I can call them out. But if I call you out, I know I can call you out, buddy. So anyway, I ain't gonna call no man. I'm gonna say y'all know who you is. That put your hand against me. They did all the wicked stuff against me. You know who exactly you is, from the top to the bottom, from the head to the tail. So thank y'all for joining in. Thank y'all for hearing. Well, go to news break and look at that woman. And the judge had to put her in jail. Sure enough, did. Had to put her in jail for her continued breaking the order of a judge. And she deserved to go to jail. And don't never mind what her reasoning for breaking the order, but you broke a judge's order. And you continue to break the judge's order for 3 years. So this mother didn't want the daddy to be nowhere involved with their son. So instead what she done, she broke the order and made false allegations. That's the same thing that Michelle been doing to me, make false allegations to try to get the judge to win the people her way. But see, in Michelle's case, different from Michelle and this person had a lawyer to defend his client. And every time that that woman violated court order, that man's client filed the contempt against the mother. And the judge put her in jail. 60 days. Put her butt in jail. And then took the children from her and gave the custody to the daddy. So now that's what I'm talking about. Now this is the thing that Michelle has been doing ever since this thing been going on. She have assaulted me in front of the kids. She have violated me. She has been on parole probation. Now you tell me what judge that will take my kids from me, a stable parent, and give them to a psychosis woman that has already assaulted me twice and was on probation at the time when she assaulted me the second time. So you tell me what judge in their right mind, Sophia Crawford, gonna do that to a client? See, and just do it. So now, then I don't have a lawyer every time she violate to put a contempt against her. But see, I'm working on that now. So I ain't gonna say what I ain't gonna have from this point on. But up to this point, I ain't had a lawyer yet that'll violate her in the order, and just for the order of the contempt now, for violating the contempt of a judge's order. And Michelle has did that from day one. She had did that. See, now y'all remember when I was keeping the kid from her before 2019, she would go out with her relationship, doing her thing, got pregnant, and then come and assault me, and all that won't bother her or nothing. Coming around assault me now, for what? So, then get a judge to take my kid from me. And she is the perpetrator. She is the perpetrator. Michelle Wall is the perpetrator, but the judge gave her all the leeway and stripped me of my kids, of born in my house, stayed in my house for 22 years, to put my kid with a woman that's moved, been unstable, moved 3-4 times out of this span of going on 5 years now. So that's almost moving one time a year, ain't it, y'all? Ain't it? If you move 3-4 times in that short of a time, that's almost moving one time a year, ain't it? And this is the place that Sophia Crawford put the rule, not only put a psychosis woman over my kids to take all of the rule. This is what Sophia Crawford done, So I ain't want to hold y'all no longer. I'm going to come back to y'all with some more updates. But like I said, go to Newsbreak. It's on that video's on Newsbreak, and see it in its entirety. And you'll see the same situation that was going. And then let me before I leave, let me just say this. She put allegations on the man that was drug use and everything, and alcohol use. Which alcohol wasn't a big deal, because if he wasn't, but then by her keeping the children away from the man for 3 years, he said he felt up under depression because he couldn't see his child. So, and that caused him to drink and all that. So a lot of this stuff, the judge has calls to me. That's why I thank the Lord, and I look at how strong the Lord has kept me versus other people can't go through the same thing I done went through with Michelle Wall. A lot of people can't go through that. A lot of men can't go through that and deal with that kind of stuff. So this man that she was doing like that, keeping his child away from him, he went through a depression, that led him to drinking, smoking marijuana, just to be able to cope with situation. And that's how a lot of people do. They'll turn to different things to try to cope with what's going on. And so while this woman was hurting him, this is what he was resorting to. So I want y'all to go just look at that and see, and y'all draw from that and determine what y'all see from that. And then you can come back to my case. Thank y'all.